Hi guys! Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. This is me, Sean. Welcome in the 7th series of this mock exam in soil science. For this series, there will be 250 questions. Since medyo marami nga siya, hahatiin ko siya into different series. So there will be 50 questions in each series. So sa lahat ng mga bagong viewers, nagpapasalamat ako sa inyo for supporting my channel. I hope meron kayong matutunan in this mock exam. Thank you. So this is the series 7A, which consists of 50 questions. The questions are based on soil colloids, pH, and soil fertility. So I suggest that you watch first the lecture videos para naman ma-refresh yung inyong mga knowledge. So get your pen and paper, and you can also have a calculator kasi meron tayo mga calculations. And then choose a place and time where you can concentrate. And then remember that the scores are not yet important. The important thing is that you understand the concept and the reason behind the answers. By the way guys, hindi po ako ang nag-prepare ng mga questions na to. These questions are based on the compiled review materials coming from different universities such as the UPLB, BVSU, CMU, DOCST, and USM. So, kinopy and paste ko lang siya. So, in case meron kayong mga questions or medyo mali na nakita dun sa video na to, please let me know so I can correct it. So, I wish you all the best. Question number 1. Sandy soil has low water holding capacity, hence a poor storehouse for plant nutrients. Remedial measures to improve water holding capacity and productivity include A. Frequent addition of water to increase the rate of technical weathering. B. Addition of greater quantity of organic fertilizers or manures. C. Proper cropping sequence. D. Deep plowing to improve aeration. The correct answer is B. Addition of greater quantity of organic fertilizer or manures. Question number 2. Soil particles whose size is less than 1 micron. A. Soil colloids. B. Sand. C. Silt. D. Organic matter. The correct answer is A. Soil colloids. Question number 3. The orderly arrangement of atoms in the clay crystalline structure. A. Lattice structure. B. Layered structure. C. Octahedron. D. Tetrahedron. D. Tetrahedron. The correct answer is A. Lattice structure. Question number 4. The process whereby ions absorbed on the surface of soil colloids are exchanged for ions in the soil solution. A. An ion exchange. B. Cation exchange. C. Ion exchange. D. Isomorphous substitution. The correct answer is C. Ion exchange. Question number 5. Compute the base saturation of a soil with a CEC of 100 milliequivalent per 100 gram and whose exchange sites are occupied by 20 milliequivalent per 100 gram of basic cations. A. 20%. B. 25%. C. 60%. D. 80%. The correct answer is A. 20%. So, paano siya na-calculate, guys? So, meron nga siyang CEC of 100 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil. Kaso nga lang, yung kanyang exchange sites are occupied by basic cations, which is 20 milliequivalent per 100 gram. So, you just calculate 20 divided by 100 is equal to 20%. Question number 6. This ion is absorbed with the least force to soil particles. A. Sodium. B. Calcium. C. Hydrogen. D. Aluminum. The correct answer is A. Sodium. Question number 7. The cation exchange capacity of a soil is a measure of A. The force of bonding between the soil and exchangeable cations. B. The negative charge of the soil neutralized by easily replaceable cations. C. The speed with which ions added to the soil solution become absorbed on soil particle surfaces. D. Acidity. The correct answer is B. The negative charge of the soil neutralized by easily replaceable cations. Question number 8. The stable fraction of soil organic matter that remains after decomposition. A. Carbohydrates. B. Carbon. C. Humus. D. Organic. The correct answer is C. Humus. Question number 9. The dominant basic cation in agricultural soil is A. Sodium. B. Potassium. C. Magnesium. D. Calcium. The correct answer is D. Calcium. Question number 10. A soil chemical property which largely control nutrient availability and microbial activities. A. Buffering capacity. B. Cation exchange capacity. C. Soil pH. D. Soil conductivity. The correct answer is C. Soil pH. Question number 11. One of the most variable soil component is A. Mineral matter. B. Organic matter. C. Soil water. D. Sand. The correct answer is C. Soil water. Soil water because it constantly fluctuates. Question number 12. Of the following minerals, the one that expands on wetting is A. Muscovite. B. Illite. C. Montmorillonite. D. Kaolinite. The correct answer is C. Montmorillonite. Question number 13. Which does not relate to CEC or cation exchange capacity? A. Amount of clay. B. Amount of organic matter. C. Kind of clay. D. Bulk density. The correct answer is D. Bulk density. Question number 14. In addition to hydrogen, the cation that normally tends to increase in exchangeable form with increasing soil acidity is A. Aluminum. B. Calcium. C. Ammonium. D. Magnesium. The correct answer is A. Aluminum. If the soil is acidic, guys, or low ang kanyang pH, marami ang kanyang hydrogen concentration as well as ang aluminum concentration. Question number 15. Of the following, the material with the highest cation exchange capacity is A. Vermiculite. B. Calcium. C. Organic matter. D. Kaolinite. The correct answer is C. Organic matter. Question number 16. A soil has a certain cation exchange capacity of 10 milliequivalent per 100 gram. The following are the exchangeable cations expressed in milliequivalents per 100 gram of soil. Hydrogen 3, calcium 2, aluminum 3, magnesium 1, sodium 0.25, and calcium 0.75. What is the percent base saturation of this soil? A. 10%. B. 40%. C. 70%. D. 50%. The correct answer is B. 40%. So, paano na-calculate yung 40%, guys? So, in this soil, we have a CEC of 10 milliequivalent. Kaso nga lang, hydrogen and aluminum are not considered as base. They are considered as acid-forming. So, hindi siya kasama sa pag-calculate. So, you just have to add calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. So, in this case, 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 0.25 and 0.75 is 4. So, you just divide 4 divided by 10 is equal to 40%. Question number 17. In slightly acidic soils, such as in those with pH between 6 to 7, the two most abundant cation will probably be A. Calcium and magnesium, B. Hydrogen and aluminum, C. Potassium and sodium, D. Iron and manganese. The correct answer is A. Calcium and magnesium. Question number 18. CEC is 20 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil. If it has 8 milliequivalent of hydrogen and the remaining cations are bases, what is the percent base saturation? A. 80%, B. 40%, C. 60%, D. 50%. The correct answer is C. 60%. So, paano siya na-calculate, guys? Ang CEC natin ay 20 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil. Kaso nga lang, 8 of those is from hydrogen. So, ano ngayon yung kanyang base saturation? So, 20 minus 8 is equal to 12. So, ibig sabihin, 12 milliequivalent are coming from the exchangeable bases. So, you just divide 12 divided by 20 is equal to 60%. Question number 19. During the dry season, plant roots are naturally supplied with water through A. Infiltration, B. Capillarity, C. Percolation, D. Leaching. The correct answer is B. Capillarity. Question number 20. Which is the seat of chemical activities in the soil? A. Sand, B. Silt, C. Colloid, D. Clay. The correct answer is C. Colloid. Question number 21. Which has the highest pH-dependent negative charges? A. Organic matter, B. Elite, C. Montmorillonite, and D. Kaolinite. The correct answer is A. Organic matter. Question number 22. 10 milliequivalent of calcium, which has a molecular weight of 40 gram, can replace how many milliequivalent hydrogen of the exchange complex? A. 0.2 milliequivalent, B. 1 milliequivalent, C. 20 milliequivalent, and D. 10 milliequivalent. The correct answer is D. 10 milliequivalent. Bakit? Kasi ion exchange reaction is stoichiometric. Ibig sabihin, 1 milliequivalent of one cation is replaced by the same 1 milliequivalent of another cation. Question number 23. The soil contains 10 milliequivalent of calcium per 100 gram. This is equivalent to how many tons of calcium per hectare farrow slice? A. 4 tons, B. 40 tons, C. 10 tons, D. 200 tons. The correct answer is A. 4 tons. Bakit? We have here 10 milliequivalent of calcium per 100 gram of soil. Multiply it by the milliequivalent of calcium. The molecular weight of calcium is 40. You just divide it by the valence or the charge of that ion times 1,000. 40 divided by 2,000 kasi 2 ang charge ng calcium times 1,000. So that is 0.02 gram. So 10 milliequivalent of calcium per 100 gram of soil times 0.02 gram per milliequivalent of calcium. Because this is a gram, guys, so you just convert it to kilograms and then you multiply it by 2 million kilogram, which is the standard weight per hectare. And then you get 4,000 kilos or 4 tons calcium per hectare. Question number 24. 1 milliequivalent of calcium per 100 gram of soil is equivalent to how many ppm of calcium at the weight of calcium is equal to 40. ppm is parts per million. A. 400 ppm, B. 40 ppm, C. 200 ppm, and D. 80 ppm. The correct answer is C. 200 ppm. So how did we get this value? Same pa rin, guys. So you just multiply the 1 milliequivalent of calcium per 100 gram of soil times the milliequivalent of calcium. So in that case is 0.02 gram. So same pa rin yung kanyang formula. You just divide the molecular weight divided by the valence of calcium, which is 2 plus the charge times 1,000. So that is 0.02 gram. And then kasi million siya, parts per million, so you just multiply it by 1 million. So we have here 200 ppm. Question number 25. Under conditions of high rainfall and humidity, the least leachable cation is A. Aluminum, B. Calcium, C. Magnesium, D. Sodium. The correct answer is A. Aluminum. Sa mga areas, guys, na malimit ang ulan at saka very humid, kadalasan sa mga lupa ay nagiging acidic because of the presence of too much aluminum and hydrogen na naiiwan sa lupa after mag-leach out yung potassium, calcium, magnesium at saka sodium. The capacity of the soil to supply nutrient elements in right amount and correct proportion. A. Availability, B. Soil fertility, C. Soil productivity, D. Rate of reproduction. The correct answer is B. Soil fertility. Question number 27. The El Niño phenomenon created a global problem in agriculture. This problem is manifested by wide cracks in soils. The cracks are due to the predominance of A. Kaolinite, B. Montmorillonite, C. Vermiculite, D. Elite. The correct answer is B. Montmorillonite. Question number 28. Most sticky and plastic when wet. A. Kaolinite, B. Vermiculite, C. Smectite, D. Fine-grained mica, E. Oxides. The correct answer is C. Smectite. Question number 29. Montmorillonite is a mineral in this group. A. Kaolinite, B. Vermiculite, C. Smectite, D. Fine-grained mica, E. Oxides. The correct answer is C. Smectite. Question number 30. Generally has the greatest net negative charge of all the clays listed. A. Kaolinite, B. Vermiculite, C. Smectite, D. Fine-grained mica, E. Oxides. The correct answer is B. Vermiculite. Question number 31. It belongs to the 1:1 non-expanding type of silicate clay mineral. A. Kaolinite, B. Vermiculite, C. Smectite, D. Fine-grained mica, E. Oxides. The correct answer is A. Kaolinite. Question number 32. Non-expanding silicate clay. A. Kaolinite, B. Vermiculite, C. Smectite, D. Fine-grained mica, E. oxides. The correct answer is D. Fine-grained mica. Question number 33. Potassium and ammonium ions are often fixed by 2:1 clays, making them less available to plants. This fixation refers to A. Entrapment of potassium and ammonium ions between silicate layers of 2:1 clays. B. Very strong ionic attraction of potassium and ammonium to outer clay surfaces. C. Oxidation of potassium and ammonium to less soluble forms. The correct answer is A. Entrapment of potassium and ammonium ions between silicate layers of 2:1 clays. Question number 34. Fixation of potassium from potassium fertilizers would be most predominant in soils high in which of the following clays? A. Kaolinite. B. Smectite or montmorillinite. C. Fine-grained mica, ilites. D. Hydrous oxide. E. Vermiculite. The correct answer is C. Fine-grained mica or elite. Question number 35. Colloids range in particle size from A. 0.2 to 1 millimeter, B. 0.2 to 1 micron, C. 0.2 to 1 centimeter. The correct answer is B. 0.2 to 1 micron. Question number 36. Organic colloids are represented by A. Hydrous iron and aluminum oxides, B. Silicate clay minerals, C. Humus. The correct answer is C. Humus. Question number 37. Reactivity of soil colloids is due to their A. High specific surface area, B. Nature and composition, C. Crystallinity. Correct answer is A. High specific surface area. Question number 38. Montmorillinite sheets are bounded by A. Weak oxygen to oxygen linkage, B. Strong potassium linkage, C. Strong hydrogen bond. The correct answer is A. Weak oxygen-oxygen linkage. Question number 39. Isomorphous substitution of cations gives clay minerals A. Permanent charge, B. pH-dependent charge, C. Positive charge. The correct answer is A. Permanent charge. Question number 40. Dissociation of hydrogen ions from the carboxyl and or phenolic functional groups give these colloid negative charges. A. Humus, B. Montmorillinite, C. Allophane, D. Oxides of iron and aluminum. The correct answer is A. Humus. Question number 41. Soils with high CEC have A. High buffering capacity, B. Low buffering capacity, C. No buffering capacity, and D. Medium buffering capacity. The correct answer is A. High buffering capacity. Question number 42. Soils with high buffering capacity are generally those which A. Are sandy or coarse, B. Have low organic matter content, C. Have high organic matter and or clay content, and D. Have high bulk density. The correct answer is C. Have high organic matter and or clay content. Given this data, the cation and the milli equivalent per 100 gram of soil, calcium has 20, milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil, magnesium 10, potassium 2, sodium 4, hydrogen 3, aluminum 1. Question number 43. The CEC of the soil is A. 36 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil, B. 45 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil, C. 40 milliequivalent gram per 100 gram of soil. The correct answer is C. 40 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil. So, paano siya kinalculate, guys? You just have to sum all of the cations milliequivalents. 20 plus 10 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 40 milliequivalent per 100 gram of soil. So, that is the CEC of that soil. Question number 44. With the same given information, what is the percent base saturation of that soil? A. 92.5%, B. 90%, C. 85%. The correct answer is B. 90%. So, paano siya kinalculate, guys? Kasi ang question dito is base saturation. So, you just have to consider the milliequivalence of all bases. What we considered bases here are the calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So, i-add mo lang siya ngayon. So, 20 plus 10 plus 2 and 4. So, that is 36. Hindi natin siya isasama yung hydrogen at saka aluminum because they are not base, but they are acids. So, 36 divided by 40. 40 kasi ito yung CEC natin, which we calculated in previous question. So, 36 divided by 40 is equal to 90%. Question number 45. Same pa rin yung kanilang given, guys, na information. What is the exchangeable sodium percentage? A. 10%, B. 15%, C. 12%. The correct answer is A. 10%. So, paano siya kinalculate? We just consider here the sodium, which is 4, divided by 40, which is the CEC of that soil. So, 4 divided by 40 is equal to 10%. Question number 46. Sodic soils have a high exchangeable sodium percentage, or ESP, and are A. Well aggregated, B. Highly dispersed, C. Highly fertile, D. Highly eroded. The correct answer is B. Highly dispersed, because sodium is a dispersing agent while calcium is a flocculating agent or nagbabind siya ngayon. Okay, question number 47. The high ESP of soils may be reduced by adding A. Lime, B. Gypsum, C. Fertilizers, D. Organic matter. The correct answer is B. Gypsum. Question number 48. Saline soils contain sufficient A. Sugar, B. Sodium, C. Salt, D. Lime. The correct answer is C. Salt. Saline soil contains a lot of salt, while sodic soils contain a lot of sodium. Question number 49. It is the strength of adsorptions of cations on the exchange complex of soils. A. Relative adsorbability, B. Relative replacing power, C. Relative strength, and D. Relative neutralizing power. The correct answer is A. Relative adsorbability. Question number 50. What type of charge would arise from the protonation or deprotonation of weakly acidic hydroxyl groups? A. Ionic charge, B. pH-dependent charge, C. electronic charge, and D, permanent charge. The correct answer is B, pH-dependent charge. So, how's your scores? I hope you understand the concept and the reason behind the answers. So, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope makatulong to sa inyo while you prepare for the review. And watch out for the next questions on the second part of this series. Thank you very much, and see you again next time. Bye!